Okay, so it's like 1:30 in the morning right now, but hopefully this isn't too fucking awful. But basically, I'm gonna be doing a level review of AKIRA. I'm also just gonna be talking about like my experience with like beating the level and everything. So, review now. That's the first part. I'm gonna go over gameplay. That's mainly gonna be what I focus on, and then I'm also gonna like vaguely cover decoration and song, whatever. But I'm not a creator, and I sure as hell am not a fucking like song composer or whatever the fuck. So gameplay is mostly what this is gonna be focused on. But yeah. Anyhow, getting straight into it. The pre-drop 0 to 7%. It's a pretty good pre-drop. The main thing is that it doesn't get boring, like even after you like play it for like what 2,000-3,000 attempts. I actually don't. I'm pretty sure I put like I put like 4,000 to 5,000 from 0. I don't know. I'll put the actual number on screen or whatever the fuck. But even after all of that, it actually never really got boring. It's also like the right amount of like consistent. You know, you don't pass it every single time, making it feel like a fucking time waste. But you're also not like completely stuck at it, and you're just bored out of your fucking mind. So yeah, it's a pretty good pre-drop. Anyhow, moving on to the drop, the first UFO 7 to 22. It's weirdly inconsistent because it has like, I don't know, this might just be a me thing, but like some of the click patterns that like you have to do in the UFO part were just really weird for me, and like they never like really clicked until like really late into like the whole like playing thing or whatever. One of the weird things is like, I think the first time I played this level from 0, the UFO was like really consistent, so I was like, oh, this is awesome, I'm gonna like pass the pre-drop and UFO like every 1 in 2, 1 in 3 attempts. And then that never happened again until like the last 2 sessions or whatever. But yeah, and then the obvious little mirror part that happens in the middle of the UFO, perfectly fine. I'm not sure if I'm right about this, but I'm pretty sure that the mirror part of the UFO section is like easier than the normal section, which makes it feel like it's balanced, even though technically it's not. But I don't know if that's true. If it's not true, then I guess it's just really well made gameplay or something. I don't know. The mirror part doesn't cause any problems, basically. But yeah, the part's alright. It's a little awkward, but whatever. And then drop ship 22 to 31. This is like the hardest part, probably. I think. I'm not really sure, but the thing with this ship part is like it gets really consistent. Like, I don't know if other people who have beaten it also experience this, but like towards the end, like the ship part wasn't really a problem. Like I think I passed this ship more than I passed the first UFO, to like give you a sense of how consistent this ship ended up getting. But I mean, the gameplay like works. There's no like bugs or anything. It's just like, because I feel like it is a difficulty jump, like not a jump, difficulty spike, but at the same time it like gets so consistent. I don't know if it really is one. I don't know, but yeah, just also a random note, I did a lot more like ship control compared to like other victors. I don't know which method's actually easier. I just like for like ship parts that are like really learning, I just tend to like do a specific set click pattern and then just hope that works. So like if you listen to the clicks in the completion, you can like hear that I don't think there's a single part where I like properly strafe fly. It's all control clicks, I guess you would call it. Just a thing I felt like pointing out, I guess. I don't know. Next part, the 31 to 34 transition. I know it's just a fucking transition. It's like 2 clicks. I know, shut the fuck up. Okay, because the 31 orb is a little weird because it'll occasionally just like not work. I think it's because my muscle memory like has me leaning early on the click or whatever. But even then, sometimes the green orb fucks everything up. I don't know why. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. Anyhow, the drop wave. I'm just gonna call this drop part 2. So drop 2 wave, 34 to 38. This part's fucking free. The only hard part is like the first click, because you're going from half speed to 4x speed, and you get like 0.1 seconds to realize that you're at that speed. So that first click's annoying. Everything else, the wave's kind of free. Honestly, probably could be harder, but whatever. And then next, 34. Whoa! No, 38 to 41. The ball part. The first two blue orbs were kind of inconsistent for me. I don't know why. They just randomly became consistent and they'd not be consistent, blah blah blah, whatever. Rather than that, free part, it's like pre-drop difficult. Honestly, probably easier than the pre-drop. But whatever. This whole like midsection, like after like the first ship to like fucking like the spider part at like 58 or whatever, like this whole part's like strangely easy. I don't know why. But moving on, the 47 to 49 transition. Wrong. I skipped ahead. 41 to 47, the robot. I forgot. My bad. I have fucking like keynotes here, or whatever the fuck you'd call them, like little bullet points, whatever. I don't know. How did I fucking lose track? But whatever. It's 1:30 in the morning. That's my excuse. Anyhow, the robot again, pretty easy. The only problems are the 44% yellow orb and the blue orb at 46%. Both of them are pretty choke points. What the fuck does that mean? They are choke points. They are choke points, not what? But whatever the fuck I tried to say. But yeah, those two clicks are choke points because I don't know, the timing windows for them are weird, or visual cues. I don't know what caused them to be choke points for me. It might just be a me thing, honestly, but those clicks were really fucking annoying. But other than that, free part. Next, now the 47 to 49% transition with the UFO. This is where the level starts to fall off. Before this, like the level, like for like modern list standards, like banger gameplay, dude. But it starts falling apart here, because this UFO transition is so fucking bad. So the initial, I think, so I'm like going off of memory. I don't have like a video pulled up or anything, but the UFO clicks, like the two first clicks, are alignment based on the yellow orb you click in the robot before. So if you like click that yellow orb wrong, which is already like a really hard timing to click due to just how fast you're going through that yellow orb, it just makes like it's just awkward. Like you should just be able to like click at the portals and like be able to pass, but that's not the case because it's alignment based, which is bullshit. And then the 48% flash in transition clicks, or whatever the fuck you want to like really like call it, or whatever, awful. The timing windows are really weird, plus the structures are invisible. Why? My solution would just have the structures be like 0.1% opacity instead of being completely invisible, and then have them flash, and that way you can like still like vaguely see where you're like have to click without like completely getting rid of the whole flashing effect or whatever. That's just my thoughts. Moving on, 49 to 55 cube part. This part's really weird because the in part balancing is so fucked, because there's the 50% blue yellow orb pair and the 51% double blue orb pair, which are like so far up to this point the biggest choke points in the level, and then every single other click in that part is completely free. I'm talking like 38% ballpark levels of free. Like it's like the whole part's just so weird because of that. Then after this Q part, we have another blind transition timing whatever thing. Again, my solution would just to make the structures be like 0.1% opacity before they flash in, so you can still read it while still having the fun, color flash in, whatever. Next, we're gonna what am I talking about? 56 to 59, the spider part. God, do I fucking hate this part. It's really awkward. All the timings I think are really awkward. The first click is oh, you have to click one frame after the buffer window type of bullshit. I hate that stuff. It's so fucking awkward. Please stop doing that. I hate it. I think most people hate it. If you don't hate it, you're fucking weird. Or maybe you're Zoink. I don't know. Maybe Zoink doesn't mind those. He probably doesn't. He probably just like goes fucking like he's got a macro in his brain. But after that, you have the double click after the blue orb. So you have the first click, you have the blue orb, and then you have these two like double click whatever thingamabobers. It sucks. It's really awkward. It was a massive choke point. I died there so many fucking times from zero and during runs. Atrocious. Yeah, same problem with the Q part before, where like all the clicks within the part are like so varied and difficult. It just really doesn't make sense because you have the blue orb, and then the 2 final clicks of the spider part, which are the 2 final clicks are straight up buffers, and the blue orb is like a 2-star timing, and then you have like these the 1 frame after buffer timing, and then the double click, which are like choke points. It's like, why? How'd you make that? But yeah, worst part of the level. I hate it. Yuck. Yeah. Anyhow, 59 to 63% transition. Worst transition in the whole level. It's basically all the issues with the previous transitions, but just ramped up even more. It's just bad. I literally died to every single click in that transition from 0 and in the runs. 63 to 78. The drop ship. It's like the longest ship in the whole level. I'd say it's probably pretty iconic for the whole level. I think like technically speaking, this ship part is easier than the first ship, but due to the nerves, I think they are comparable in difficulty, especially when you're doing it from 0. Same thing with the other part. I did a lot more ship control than straight flight, I think, compared to most victors. Basically, I just have a really strict pattern for it, just like the first ship. I don't know if that makes it easier or harder, probably just a skill set thing. But anyhow, this part really got consistent during runs, but for some reason from 0 I could never really do it. I think it's probably just a nerve control issue. What isn't a nerve control issue is the fact that the 64 to 65 corridor, the very first structures, I guess, in the part, are way harder than literally anything else in the whole part. So essentially, nerf it, and then maybe buff the rest a little bit if you wanted to like compensate and make sure it was the same difficulty. I don't know. And then a little more of a personal thing. All the little like curvy straight fly stuff, whatever, with all the big ass wheels just spinning about, they were kind of awkward. I know technically speaking, like I have a showcase that I'm using in the background right now that I botted. You can technically do a full smooth curve, but it's really awkward to do that. I don't know, the whole like and especially the second one. The second one just straight up does not align with ship movement. That one's just weird. But the first one still, I feel like, is a little weird. I'm not really sure what you could do with that. Honestly, probably just me just not liking it, but whatever. Anyhow, final wave. It has really awkward click patterns, and the structures are also really weird, which really doesn't help. It does, again, like the ship, it gets consistent when runs, but from 0, it's not really consistent. 82% was a massive choke point for me. I'm not really sure why, but I'm going to guess that it's because of the visual cues and the structuring being really weird. Also doesn't help that Eridani decided to slap in a fucking Galaxy Collapse click. Fun. I love seeing my Galaxy Collapse clicks in an extended list demon. Woohoo. The end consistency, again, from runs, it was consistent. From 0, I fluked it, so that's cool, I guess. Woohoo. Yay. No 84% deaths, whatever. But yeah, just a really awkward ending. I feel like if like it was structured properly, it'd be way more consistent from 0, but whatever. And then the end screen, yay, 85 to 100. Just fucking nothing. You get to look at a cool screen. Yeah, I really hope like 2.3 or like some other future update like makes it so like you can like level creators can like, I don't know, like make it so that when the level's gameplay ends, so does the progress bar, but you can still have like an end screen play out for like X amount of time that the creator wants, you know, because all these like fucked up like end screen things are really funny, like with what, Bet Noir or whatever however the fuck you pronounce it. Like the end screen literally happens at 70%. It takes up 30% of the fucking level. Like it's getting out of hand. Like and I'm pretty sure if we look like, I don't know, progress bar it or whatever the fuck. I'm being super incoherent right now. I'll like slap some text on the screen. You can read it. I'll explain it better then, because I'm not going to be editing this. I'm not going to be editing this tonight. I'm going to be editing it not tonight. My brain's fried. Anyhow, I'm just gonna go over the overall gameplay now. It's got a lot of potential, but it's really held back by like a lot of, well, not a lot, just your normal average list demon amount of shit choke points and some really fucking questionable design choices. I'm really just looking at the fucking transitions. But on a positive note, you know, looking at it a little more lightly, you know, like what does that mean in the context of me talking right now? But anyhow, I'm just kidding, whatever. It has good sync in the inputs and like the way the icon moves, you know, like the click syncs. click sync's pretty good, and then movement, whatever, above average, I'd say. So for a list demon, like list demon standards, pretty solid level. Oh, Jesus, I cannot speak. In terms of list demons, it's a pretty solid level, and I would maybe recommend it. Like, compared to like some of the other options in the range, it's probably one of the better ones. I'm not quite sure if I would like fully recommend it, but like if you want to give it a try, like if it interests you, honestly, probably go for it. I'm gonna give it a final gameplay score of B. Now, decoration. Now, alright, I am not a creator at all. Like, all I do, like, the most I've done in the editor is make a bunch of levels, some structuring. I've done some little experimental challenge structuring, and then some shit-ass generic deco that I ripped off of some level that I looked on YouTube like 2 years ago when I was like a 2-year-old. But so basically what I'm saying is I'm not going to be doing like some in-depth like breakdown of like each part like I did with gameplay, you know, like something like Jakob does in his legit level review series, or like pointing out like really like specific design choices or like layering choices or like movement pulses, whatever like Woolsey does or whatever. I think that's what he does, I don't know. I'm just gonna talk about the visual flow, you know, the atmosphere, the vibes of the level. So it's gonna be a little vague, but whatever. So I think in comparison like to the gameplay, the decoration's a lot like where like this level really shines. First, if you kind of like just look at it, just like if you look at a showcase of AKIRA without any of the audio, it doesn't like look any special, because honestly it really isn't. Like at like that initial glance, it's just generic, really neon bright glow design, whatever. It's you know, like it doesn't really have a theme, it just uses a bunch of colors and it gets really flashy. But I think it was actually a pretty good decision for this level, because the song carries the atmosphere, the song carries the theme, because Neon Thrills by fuck, I cannot remember the artist's name. The song has the song's really dense in like atmosphere in and of itself. Like, just have a completely blind listen to it and you'll immediately be like, oh yeah, this song like exudes like fucking cyberpunk, vaporwave, retrowave, whatever the fuck vibes. And like, because of that, the level doesn't really need to do that much to completely like put you into the atmosphere. It really, all it has to really do is just like kind of like really like AKIRA kind of takes that whole cyberpunky vibe and just puts it like in a level in a really abstract way. It's just, you know, some neon glow design, bright flashes, and that's really about it. But it works because of how much the song already does. Your brain kind of just fills in the gaps, and then you're kind of just like put in the atmosphere. It just works. Speaking from a more like player oriented perspective, you know, I'm not a creator, I just beat the fucking level. It does get really bright. Like, I as a normal human being play in a well-lit room. I play Geometry Dash with the room lights on. But for people who don't, your eyeballs are probably fried. But yeah, that's one of the things. The level is really bright. Sometimes, like, even me playing in like a well-lit room, it's still like, sometimes it'd be like, ooh, getting a little hard to focus on the level. You know, it's not like chroma levels of like, wah, but like, it's still quite a bit. But moving on from that, the structures, the movement of the structures and stuff, they don't really like fuck with your ability to like read the level or anything. Pretty good job. Especially given how much like dynamic movement there is. Like, if you look at like a showcase of the level a little more closely, you can see like a lot of like visual movement in all like the decoration and like the foreground, background, whatever. But it when even playing on full detail, none of it like completely overwhelms you, which is really good job. And then same with the pulses, ignoring the whole wall of light that occasionally the level likes to flash at you. It pulses a lot of different colors without looking like rainbow puke, which is, you know, good job. Not a lot of people can do that. And then the designs, they look pretty good. the level doesn't ever like feel like super empty or like super cluttered in any of the parts. It's pretty well balanced. And yeah, in terms of decoration, I'd say this is pretty good. List standards or not, I'm gonna give it an S. And then finally, the last part, the song. I don't know shit about music stuff, so I'm just gonna say good song, review ends here. I'll give it a... Okay, it's now me at 2 in the morning, and I'm now going to talk about my experience with AKIRA. And unlike, well, the review section was probably pretty incoherent, but this is going to be even more incoherent, so have fun listening to some random fuck ass on the internet go absolutely incoherent over level experience in Geometry Dash. That sentence alone was probably a grammatical clusterfuck, but I don't care, we're gonna start. Why did I start playing AKIRA? Well, the whole idea behind me beating AKIRA was I would have the same hardest as my friend Flora. Initially that was going to be Edge of the World, but Edge of the World was shit. So I was like, hey, I really don't feel like beating this level. What are your future plans? Well, that's not how the order went. She told me some time ago that she wanted to either beat AKIRA or Spectrum Cyclone as her 3000th demon. And I was like, hey, I want to beat Edge of the World before you get to 3000 demons. And then I never beat Edge of the World because I don't like the level, I guess. I don't know. And then I was like, okay, well, I'm approaching 300 demons. Wouldn't it be pretty funny if I beat AKIRA also as a hardest for 300 demons instead of 3000? And that's kind of where it started. 10th of October 2023. This is the first time I played AKIRA. I was just bored. I picked up a Star Pass copy, and for some reason I dumped about 1100 attempts trying to do 62 to 100. I got it, and I proceeded to not play the level for another 10 days because I really wasn't going for it at the time. This is also where I beat Untitled. You can see that on my channel. And then this is also where I tried to be first victor of Hot Rod, which didn't happen because 1, someone better than me beat it faster. 2, I think the level sucks, the gameplay's dog shit. Anyhow, 20th of October, this is the time I actually picked the level back up and decided to go for it. So I get 62 to 100, which took about 350 to 400 attempts. I didn't really keep track. And then right now, at that point in time, the goal was to beat it before the end of October because I don't think 2.2 delaying to November was revealed yet. So that was kind of the goal, which is kind of funny. It's the 20th of October. How the fuck did I plan on beating it in like that crazy of a time crunch? I don't know. Whatever. Next day, the 21st of October, I get 23. I do the first ship for the first time. I think I did it like twice maybe, and then it got 34 to 60. I think that was like what, 3, 4, 5 runs? I don't quite remember, something like that. Anyhow, so far pace of progress was pretty good. Looked like I was on track. I had about a 1.4 with that. Well, I had about 1400 attempts at this point. I think I have a specific like number. I'll pull up like the Discord message if I have that specific number. Anyhow, and then I got really fucking sick. Like, maybe COVID, maybe not, maybe just like a hardcore flu. I don't know what it was. For 2 days, I was fucking out. I died. They burned my body, sent me to the crematorium, whatever the fuck. I was dead. And then, also, that 2 days was a lie. Before I got fully better, I kind of just relapsed into GD. I mean, most average me thing to do. I mean, I literally said I wasn't going to play GD again after AKIRA until 2.2 dropped, and then that didn't happen at all. Anyhow, 25th October. I'm still kind of sick, but I decided to come back to the level. I got 46% from 0, which was kind of wild. I think I got like 26, 25, 27, whatever the fuck. I died a bunch in that range a little bit, and then I just flicked to 46, which was kind of nuts. And then I got a 34 to 76% progress fluke on a run, which was kind of crazy. So I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. I am so on wrong. When I said like 34 to 76 was like a fluke run, I mean it. Like 46 was a fluke and 34 to 76 was a fluke. Those were not meant to happen, but for some reason my brain was like, hey look, I could do that again the next day because I'm muscle man. No, they were flukes. They are not replicatable. I can't say that word. I'll put it on the screen. You can read it. Anyhow, the next day, yeah, compared to the runs, I didn't really get any muscle memory. Technically I did, because, you know, obviously that's how fucking sleep works, but given like the runs I had done the last day, I felt like I really wasn't doing much, or being able to do much. This is also the day the UFO, the first UFO, stopped like being really consistent, which is so great. Woohoo. I had about 6.9 thousand attempts at this point. And then next day, 27th of October, I got a little more progress. I was like slowly marching towards to what I was able to do on the 25th, but still not there yet. I started getting really mad at like the 59 cube transition at this point, because I'm starting to like get there a decent bit, and I just keep fucking dying there, and I'm losing my shit. But I get 49 to 100 that day, so woohoo. Cause my plan was 64 to 100, and then I learned 31 to 64, whatever the progress is, I don't really care. And then I was gonna basically do a run from 32 and try to do it to 100. But then I kind of ended up giving up, and I was like, alright, whatever, I'll do like, I'll build up to 32%, fine. So I did 49 to 100. Yeah, and then next day, 28th, I finally made progress from 0. I got to 58. Woohoo. And I did 41 to 100, slowly building up, you know, back to 34 or 32 or whatever, you know. Yeah, this is gonna be such a fucking pain to edit together, because I'm probably gonna be like 29th of October, I finally do it, 34 to 100, it happened, yeah. And then that was also the first time I beat my 34 to 76% progress fluke. 30th of October, that was the worst transition ever. I get 22 to 66. Cool. What else did I do? Nothing. Nothing fucking happened. We're moving on to 34. Whoa, 34th of October does not exist. Goddamn. 31st of October, I get 50 again. Yeah. And then I also did 22 to 81. So, you know, getting pretty close to a 22 to 100 run. Woohoo. I have 11,991 attempts at that point. 1st of November, mental break. I decided I didn't feel like playing the level, so I didn't play the level. 2nd of November, I passed 10,000 attempts on my start pause copy of the level. Woohoo, the grind be real. Next, because I play start pause copy and then I play from 0, and then something. I really don't go back and forth most of the time. I get 72, but that only happened after I got 64 twice and 65. This is obvious foreshadowing of the absolute shitstorm that the second ship is gonna be. But anyhow, this is when I started really getting into that grind set, you know. I started pumping in like 500 to 700 attempts from 0 every day, and I'd also be doing like 300 to 600 attempts on start position every day. It started to get real from this point. Like, this is when I went really like locked in, and proceeded to not do anything while locked in, because I'm fucking incompetent at this game. Because on the 3rd of November, I get 74%. Woohoo! Great new progress of 2%. Wow. And then I also do 2200 for the first time. Wow. And then 4th of November, I don't really say anything. Like, the way I keep track of all this is not like from like fucking memory. Like, I just like every time like I played the level, I'd message Flora like the progress I got or whatever. So I basically just go through the DMs and be like, this happened on this day and this happened on this day. There's nothing really recorded for this day. Like, if I like didn't play the level, I'd usually say so, and if I was playing the level, I'd obviously say so. But there's just nothing. So I'm not really sure if I played and nothing happened, or if I didn't play, I just didn't care enough. But it's I don't know, spooky mystery day. Never mind. I just did some digging. Plot twist. I actually just sent her, like Flora, my progress at like 3 p.m. the next day. What? Anyhow, what happened was I got 82%, and then I got 83%. I am inching my way. Also, this is the 4th of November, and I beat it on the 9th. Jesus Christ. 5th of November, I was like, dude, I am so close to beating it. I have 22 to 100. I have 82 and 83. Like, I'm there. So to this day, I made the thumbnail for the video that you probably saw when you clicked on the video. And then I also got 82 again. Great. I also got like over 10 deaths past 62 that day, which is kind of crazy. I think that's the highest that I ever got in any session. But yeah, this is this day, November 5th, kind of marks the day where it's transition from this is a grind to I'm gonna go fucking insane. So 6th of November we go. I get 82 twice, so that makes a total of 82 4 fucking times, with 77 and 75 alongside. I also do 22 to 100 again. I have about 16,500 attempts at this point. I don't know why 7th of November I get 22 to 84, and then I never like finished the run because I couldn't be fucking bothered. I also mind block at 58 that day, and I like died there like 15 times. It's fucking awful. It was genuinely just disgusting. I also got 79, fucking great. This day was also the day I died 5 times to that fucking transition, that bullshit ass transition before the 62 ship. Woohoo. And then I got like 5 attempts past 62, 17.6k attempts, and I really start losing it at this point. Like it's been like what, 2 days, 3 days after like the 82 83 happened. And I'm like dude, I gotta beat it. Where's it at? Where's the completion at? I'm like completely losing it. I think this is the day I like completely stopped like enjoying playing the level, because like beforehand it was still like fun in some regards, but at this, like after this point it's just agony. 8th of November, I didn't really play much at the level, so technically speaking I beat this level on the 9th of November, but I didn't like sleep between the 8th and the 9th because I beat it at like 1 a.m. on the 9th, so like it was kind of just a continuous session. A little weird, but whatever. Technically I beat it on the 9th, so whatever. I never got past 70 even after like 4 times, so I was like, dude, my consistency, it's gone, I'm so fucked. And then I just beat it. Yeah, that was the AKIRA experience.